Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're breaking down those sneaky, unconscious daily habits that are literally sabotaging your joy. You know the exact feeling I'm talking about, right? You've got the job, the apartment, the comfortable life on paper, but you still feel like something's missing. If you've ever felt like you should be way happier than you actually are, but you just can't pinpoint why, well, you're in exactly the right place.
So, the source material we're diving into today identifies 60 specific ways we totally get in our own way. And honestly, some of these are gonna hit a little close to home. We're gonna look closely at why so many of us wake up exhausted, spend way too much time living up in our own heads, and just feel this unshakable emptiness even when all our basic needs are totally met. It's a heavy question for sure, but unpacking it, it's gonna be fascinating.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. We're gonna hit the illusion of more, trapped in the digital void, neglecting mind and body, the loneliness epidemic, a life without joy, and finally, happiness is a practice. Let's get into it.
Starting things off with section 1, the illusion of more. Okay, think about the last time you got a performance review at work. Your boss sits you down, gives you 90% glowing praise, and offers just one teeny tiny piece of constructive criticism. Fast forward to 2 a.m. What's keeping you awake? It's that 10%. Our brains are literally hardwired to fixate on the negative. It's a survival mechanism. But in modern life, it exposes a pretty profound lack of gratitude. Like 90% of your life is probably going great. You have shelter, food, good friends, but your brain basically forces you to live entirely in the 10% that feels bad or stressful. And because the concept of enough just doesn't seem to exist in our vocabulary anymore, we ensure we're almost never fully satisfied with the present moment. And man, we all fall into the trap of the arrival fallacy. This is that dangerous little lie we tell ourselves, believing that achieving the next big milestone is gonna permanently fix us. You know how it goes? I'll finally be happy when I get that promotion. Or everything's gonna be perfect once I find the right partner. Or even just, I'll be happy when I finally buy that new phone. So you get the phone, you're absolutely thrilled for exactly 3 days, and then the excitement vanishes. The goalpost moves again. We expect to unlock this perpetually perfect life, but that's just impossible. When we tie our joy to future conditions, we just end up constantly disappointed by the reality of today.
Instead of just being present, we have this almost magical talent for catastrophizing the absolute smallest problems. Imagine you get a flat tire on a random Tuesday. Instantly, your brain spirals into this relentless what-if anxiety loop. What if I'm late for work? What if my boss fires me? What if I can't pay rent and have to live in the woods? You end up suffering twice, once in your wild imagination and once in reality. We trap ourselves in a completely made-up future, or we agonize over a past that's completely gone, and we totally miss out on the actual reality right in front of us.
Moving on to section 2, trapped in the digital void.
Picture this. You're sitting on your couch in sweatpants on a Tuesday evening, feeling kind of tired and unmotivated. You open up social media and start scrolling. Suddenly, you're comparing your very normal, very messy, unedited reality to someone else's perfectly curated, highly filtered vacation in Bali. It is a game you will absolutely always lose. We see everyone else looking richer, happier, and more successful, and our brains just inherently believe the illusion. It drives up our own envy and creates this bizarre sense of loneliness, even though we logically know we're just looking at a highlight reel.
The crazy thing is, we miss out on actual life because we are constantly tethered to these screens. Think about it. You might be physically sitting at a table with friends, or out walking during this gorgeous sunset, but mentally, you are completely absent. You're framing the perfect photo for Instagram, or doom scrolling outrageous news headlines that spike your blood pressure. We even avoid silence at all costs. We have podcasts or music blaring 24/7, so we never actually have to sit quietly with our own thoughts. And there's a massive cost to this. When you have your phone out at dinner, the person sitting across from you literally feels invisible.
Which brings us to section 3, neglecting mind and body.
We constantly wonder why we feel so terrible emotionally, but then we look at how we're operating physically, and it's like, well, yeah, we're running on 4 hours of awful sleep, 3 cups of coffee, and basically 0 sunlight. It's a vicious cycle. We grab fast food because we're exhausted, which just makes us feel more sluggish. Then we chug excess caffeine to push through the afternoon slump, which makes us anxious and jittery, and because we're jittery, we can't sleep at night, or maybe we use alcohol to wind down, which gives us this borrowed, debt-inducing happiness today, but completely tanks our sleep quality for tomorrow. When your physical baseline is that compromised, your mood honestly doesn't stand a chance.
Basically, we fundamentally become human doings rather than human beings. Because we're always rushing from one task to the next, we actively avoid just 5 minutes of simple stillness. We rarely sit down to journal and empty out those heavy thoughts rattling around in our heads. We might even refuse therapy or quiet reflection because, well, slowing down just feels unproductive. But by never taking the time to actually process our emotions or decompress, the mind just remains this chaotic, tangled mess. We've completely forgotten how to simply exist without needing to accomplish something.
All right, section 4, the loneliness epidemic.
Take a look at this tragic little loop for a second. When we start feeling down or overwhelmed, pride and shame usually step right in and stop us from asking for help. We don't want to be a burden, right? So what do? We isolate, we cancel plans, we stop texting back, and we push our friends away at the exact moment we need them the most. And naturally, sitting entirely alone with our negative thoughts just makes us feel infinitely worse. It's this heartbreaking, self-fulfilling prophecy of loneliness that we completely orchestrate ourselves. And honestly, a ton of our exhaustion comes from how we manage our relationships. Take people-pleasing, for example.
We say yes to favors, extra work, or social events when our bodies are literally screaming no just to keep the peace and be liked. Or we wear this polite little mask, keeping every conversation strictly surface level, talking about the weather or the latest TV show, ensuring no one ever actually gets to know the real us. We might even tolerate toxic friends who completely drain our energy just because it feels easier than setting a hard boundary. But all of this emotional leakage, the fake smiles, the unsaid boundaries, the heavy grudges we just refuse to drop, it slowly and quietly destroys our daily joy.
Next up is Section 5, A Life Without Joy. So, when was the last time you did something just for fun? Seriously, I want you to sit with that question for a second. Really think about it. Because a life without a genuine, tears-streaming belly laugh, or a messy passion project, or just a simple, spontaneous adventure is just a really boring routine. If you genuinely cannot remember the last time you did something purely because you loved it, not because it paid the bills, or looked good on a resume, or helped someone else, you are quietly starving your own spirit. It is just so incredibly easy to fall into a routine where you wake up, work, and sleep without ever really knowing why. We become chronic consumers, right? Watching, scrolling, buying, but we rarely take the time to build or paint or write or just create anything ourselves. We only learn for work, never for wonder. And maybe the most tragic part? We stay inside staring at glowing rectangles completely disconnected from the natural world. There is a profound scientifically proven grounding effect that happens when you just step outside, feel the sun on your face, or take a walk in the trees without a destination. When we lose that connection, we lose a huge piece of our humanity.
Which brings us to our final stop, Section 6, Happiness is a Practice. Breaking these cycles means realizing that you actually have the power to change your daily inputs, and it starts with actively stepping outside of your own head. When you volunteer your time or practice genuine generosity, you experience a literal psychological boost. The act of giving actually releases endorphins. And expressing gratitude shouldn't just be some silent thought in your head. Actually speaking your thanks out loud, telling a friend you appreciate them, or just thanking the barista, it builds real tangible connection. You stop hoarding your time and energy, and you start actively participating in the world around you. And guess what? That immediately lightens your own mental load.
Because here's the secret. Happiness is not a destination. It's not this magical place you suddenly arrive at when your bank account hits a certain number, or when you finally buy that house or get married. It's a muscle. It is a skill that you have to train and practice every single day. By undoing the toxic habits we've just laid out, by setting those boundaries, putting down the phone, going for a walk, and actually practicing gratitude, you are actively building that skill.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to really spark your curiosity and challenge you to take immediate action. Don't just sit with this information and do nothing. Look closely at your own life, pick just one of these habits, and commit to breaking it today. Which one is it going to be? You have the power to change your baseline. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and start building your own joy.
Start planning your escape today.